Good evening and welcome to It Is the Dark Crusade. We start our scene with Madeline having met up and once again forcing down her somewhat negative feelings of Joanna's normal dress sense, shall we say. She does smile and greet her, and the two of them are just now making their way to Joanna's, well, benefactor. Um, and yeah, the two of them will just walk together to this place. And while they're getting closer, she'll just say, "It is good to see you again so soon. I hope
And
he
you.
has time to talk."
What did she say? I hope he has what?
I hope he has time to talk.
Yes, me too. There's a great deal to speak on. Have you heard anything from the sheriff about whether the Lady of Wrath has been taken into custody?
No. Which worries me, although, well, from what I've been able to gather, it seems as though they needed time to prepare, which means that she is probably long gone by now. But honestly, from my perspective, as long as she has gone from this place, I am a lot more content.
It will certainly be a shame if she's gone. If she is, I think I may have to pursue her. There's a great deal to learn there if she hasn't been destroyed yet.
There is always time to learn.
Not to be flippant, but there's always time until someone marches on Jerusalem with an army of shambling dead. At that point, time begins to run slow, thin.
I am quite certain that the sheriff will relay such information. Well, my time with him was short, and I will inform him or the prince to send word to Jerusalem that they should be somewhat careful.
Speaking of shambling dead,
No.
you begin to approach the haven. Well, that Johanna knows. That Madeleine doesn't necessarily know. Or is that haven? Might just be a meeting point. You don't know. Actually, considering location, it's probably just a meeting point. One of the yeah, well, I think it would be. Yeah, no, it would be. It would be most heretical to you, Johanna, as he's asked you to meet in a mosque. Of course, places of great knowledge in scripture and literature for the age, and probably the only real place of substantial literary holdings for the age. And this is in the district the district known as Justinopolis Mount, which used to be basically a massive cathedral, but ever since Saladin took over, they basically they kind of Hagia Sophia'd it. They turned it into a massive mosque, basically. And there are a bunch of smaller religious structures around that area. There are quite a few mosques. They're extensions of the Justinopolis, well, the mosque known as Justinopolis Mount. And he is in one of those. It's still quite far into the district, to be fair. There is a high city guard count here, similar to the Merchants District. You see pilgrims and religious vicars all the way up in pretty much every roadway. It's quite surprisingly busy. Although the main mosque is currently quote.
Oh, sorry. The main mosque is what?
Simultaneously a
got
religious structure and a kind of like a tourist attraction at the same time. People travel to visit this place and Abraham's Mountain, so they regulate when people can enter. It's also one of the richer districts, so certain troublemaking folk are swiftly dealt with. Doesn't take a genius to understand why the city would have a vested interest in this place. Even ignoring the fact that almost all of them would also be Muslim themselves. But yeah. Oh, sorry.
So, an important question: what is the mood of the city? Is Johanna going to be able to go to this wearing her normal habit, or would she need to be dressed differently?
It's fairly cosmopolitan.
Okay.
There are, considering the religious significance of this place, this would be there would still be some Christian clerics still living here, although not many. Most of them are probably living close to just outside this district. Because even though there might be remnants of the Christian faith here, this is very much an Islam-dominated part of the city. The only real parts of the city left are the Christian Quarter, obviously, and I think it's Godwin's Gift or Baldwin's Gift. I can't remember the Ventru domain, and actually some of the guild halls as well. The guild halls has a surprisingly significant Christian presence. Those are the three main Christian areas of the city. Every other area of the city is either of a different faith, largely is Islamic, as it is currently ruled by an Islamic empire.
Great.
The
okay,
Ayubids.
just checking, making sure she didn't need to be dressed differently.
No. It's the city has its religious conflicts, but it's pretty cosmopolitan.
And to go into the mosque, they'll let her in? Or is he not actually in the mosque?
He's in the mosque, yes.
Okay.
Kind of interesting how someone who, in many ways, again, like you know your mentor, Portugal has all these fancy Christian bishops, and now suddenly, he's in a mosque. How did that happen? Fascinating.
Fascinating.
But yeah, no, he's in there, and you can walk in without too much of a fuss. Some people will be a bit weirded out, but other people will be encouraging, in the sense that someone of another faith is here. Perhaps it's a diplomatic gesture or show of tolerance, and some people appear to welcome it. Other people just kind of ignore you. No one gets up in front of you and makes a fuss, calls you a heretic, or tries to slay you or anything.
And Johanna will definitely act respectfully. She'll take her shoes off as she enters.
And will do the same.
If there seem to be other, well, you said it's closed.
No, that's just the high mosque. The outside mosques, the mosques
okay.
that are like on the outside the because it's literally named after an old cathedral that has now been turned into a mosque.
Sure.
There are other mosques in the area. They're just smaller, and some of them are extensions of the larger mosque that remain open. But the kind of central mosque that this area is named for, it's closed because we don't want any filthy commoners coming along in the night and wrecking.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, you find your mentor on in a quiet prayer hall, one of several. He has an accomplice with him who will close the door and kind of shut out anyone else who wants to enter, apart from you two.
Does he appear to be in prayer or meditation, contemplation?
Oh no, he's sitting down on a mat, on a mattress.
Mhm.
It's rather plain. It's just a brown mattress, nothing special. The entire room is quite plain.
Sure.
There are some decorations, but it's not spectacular.
Mhm.
It's all right looking. It's spectacularly mediocre. It doesn't look horrible. It's hardly run down. It's well maintained. It's obviously well looked after. It's clean. There's not a lot of dust here or any such thing, which takes some effort to clean in this time era.
Mhm.
They clearly put their effort into making sure this place is pristine, but it's not to host a bunch of upper class ornaments or grand
Sure.
religious artworks.
Mhm.
You would be aware there is a small library in this mosque, however.
Good evening, Padre.
Good evening. What brings you and your guest to indulge my presence this evening? Please take a seat. Points to another mattress, fairly plain. Comfy though. Surprisingly soft.
We have some matters of great import to speak with you of. And she sinks down gracefully onto the mattress.
What would such a thing be that it would demand my presence? Is it perhaps a more an economical matter?
Maybe. Maybe it is. There are more than
Partially.
one matters in this. Joanna invited me to come to a dinner hosted by Lady Ra a couple of nights ago. I was interested in this because of certain rumors I had heard, so we both went. I assisted her. We were attacked by this person, and several, well, her sons, they were clearly corpses. They were not ghouls or kindred, not by the looks of it. They were dead, but Joanna was knocked unconscious in the process, but I managed to break the wards, the whatever magical fortification that was cast upon this place. The windows were supernaturally strong, but I managed to break them with some effort. And once I broke them, I managed to, in a unconscious form, get Johanna out of it. And I took her. We informed the sheriff, and well, the sheriff has said that he will act on this, but a debt is now owed, as you must understand.
Johanna is watching her mentor very closely right now.
The silence is this long. Until his corpse-like stillness shifts into motion in Madeleine's direction. His head cocks ever so slightly, as if for you to explain.
He cocked his head towards Madeline or toward Johanna?
Madeline.
I saved her. And myself, of course. But I would claim a blood boon of her. But I do not wish to. First of all, I know that the two of you are in a teaching relationship of some degree. That I do not wish to overstate any bounds of promises made in the past.
You want to make a perception empathy roll?
Oh, I do.
I mean, if it can be helped, I would avoid it. But then again, I do not know the extent of your relationship. So,
Oh, Madeline, you're good at empathy now.
I got 2.
You only got 2 success. You got a lot of 5s. Yeah, May, you did it wrong. May, you got 2 successes. Both of you got 2. Oh man, look at all these empty promises that everyone gives when they try to declare an enormous debt over someone. We'll be nice about it, they say. That's what they always say. This is not something that is necessarily believed, as it is because there is no reason to. These are standard gestures that are often lies. It's less looking into him and more how a normal person
would
reacts.
What
And
you would expect, yeah.
Yeah, what you would expect, and the fact that his expression is just fairly blank and like doesn't really seem to boil that much into what you're saying, but it's not overtly sarcastic. It's more like, yeah, mm-hmm.
Well, again, I do not mean to pry, but I would like to be the first to inform you, since given the fact that the two of you are close. But this brings me to another point. There was these things that we encountered were clearly dead. And she seemed not to speak like one of ours, but she did mention needing a new form, a new body to inhabit. Would this mean anything to you? Could you have an idea of what it was we faced?
That information is hard-earned and costly. If you would like to discover this information, either payment must be made or the debt of my student will be lowered.
Well, I would have to give this thought as well. What is most important is that the sheriff and, well, the leadership knows of this danger and can make sure that it is of no further danger to anyone in the city.
Tell me what prevented Johanna from leaving of her own methods or accord. Sorry. She possesses the gift of great speed. It should not have been troublesome for her to remove herself from the situation at hand. He says this as he gazes in your direction with this straight, penetrating stare that just kind of looks straight through you.
Me or Johanna?
Johanna, he just, as he says this, you can see his head just slowly turning in Johanna's in her direction, and the way he looks at her is a little unsettling. His eyes are a little wider than they normally would be. His pupils are almost a pinprick.
I'm
And
going
you
to
just feel
roll.
like as if you're being looked through, not rather at.
What would I roll for her to maintain her perfect composure? I feel like that's something she'd be fairly good at with her background.
Normally I'd have someone roll appearance subterfuge, but I think in this situation, just roll straight courage.
Okay, that's fair. Depending on the diff, 2 successes.
Your mentor is kind of creeping you the fuck out right now. But you're able to maintain some semblance of class during your darkest hour of effective slavery.
She's going to incline her head to him, like acknowledging what he said. The room was guarded by some sort of magics. And her servant stood at either door.
What's more concerning is that these servants, I was utilizing the powers of my blood. And yet, in my shadowy form, their blades were still able to hurt me, which is disconcerting, and the pain was quite unlike anything the two of us have ever experienced.
There are many methods for why that might be. Explain the situation fully.
She was quite explicit about the fact that she wished to inhabit the blood of one of the kindred. Sorry, wished to inhabit the body of one of the kindred based on, I assume, rumors she'd heard of our longevity, perhaps of our healing. There was some sort of silver glint to the blades, and they seemed to draw my own self out of me when they stabbed. She missed my heart, but pierced my soul.
Through great effort, I was able to partially damage one of the windows of this place, although they were extraordinarily resilient to any form of manipulation, but I managed to get a hole through it. And thus I was able to escape. I pulled Joanna through the hole, although it did cause a bit of damage. We both got out of there. I transported her to the sheriff, where the both of us recuperated.
What was her state when you pulled her through the window?
Unconscious.
And what answers do you seek from this encounter?
What answers do I seek?
Yeah.
What I wish is merely an assurance that the sheriff will be able to make sure that this, whatever she was or it was, is no longer a problem for the city.
But later off is no longer a problem. Or
Sorry, out of character. What did he say? I missed it.
you said that Lady Roth is no longer a problem, or as in the state. Is there something else you want, or is it just get rid of Lady Roth?
He's talking more generally, yes?
Yeah.
Well, as you do know, that the Toreador does not have any disciplines that are exotic, shall we say. And this would, if that was the case, this might be able to cancel out a boon like this. But was there a way we could facilitate such a teaching of myself? I would be willing to see the debt delivered. She wouldn't say delivered, she would say paid, of course.
Did she just ask this guy to teach her necromancy? Just to be clear?
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
What is
she just said if there is a way we can facilitate anything like that, that would of course.
Anything like that, okay.
Like she never she didn't specify anything. She just said like that is obviously a way to pay the debt, but what he interprets from that is totally up to him. Like he might interpret it as something like
He's
that.
Absolutely interpreting it that way because that is the quickest, most expedient conclusion and also the most obvious. He will say, God, I need to take a moment to actually consider how he's going to respond to this.
Uh-oh. Oops.
There is an unusual look on this man's face of genuine tension and insult, and you can tell that he's half tempted to smash you through that wall. As he says, the Klein Cappadocian will not sacrifice their arts or their secrets for the mistakes of another.
I would never suggest such a thing.
Then don't.
I apologize if I have caused offense to you. That was not my suggestion. I would give this more thought as to how this situation might be resolved. But please do accept my most humble apologies.
He blinks once at you. Do you wish to know these weapons and words and other mystical mysteries?
Perhaps in time. At the moment, I have quite a few things on my mind. But you understand that scholarly work and teachings must be approached with great care and consideration.
You expressed curiosity regarding these enigmas before. I hold the answers to many of these questions, but that knowledge is real and dangerous. However, it is not bound by my clan. It would impact the boon you hold over my student. However, it would not negate it entirely.
I understand. When I have given this a bit more thought, and when I am finished with my current studies, I would be honored to receive it.
Regardless of the notion that this knowledge is not restricted by clan loyalties, it is still sought after. It would significantly impact the leverage you have over my student.
As it should, since you are willing to share such valuable information, it should have an impact, of course.
I do feel inclined to warn you it has a limited time span in which you will be able to lay claim.
I understand.
While there is little problem with having the offer on the table, I believe both of us would prefer not having to waste our time with what ifs over and over again.
Quite so.
So I shall give you 3 months to come to a decision.
That will more than suffice. I thank you for your generosity.
Would you lay claim to a blood boon or 2 major boons?
A blood boon.
Sorry, what did he say?
He's asking her if she lays claim to a blood boon or 2 major boons.
Ah, got it. Thank you.
Both very wildly in what they can do, but both are significantly powerful.
And she will reply a blood boon.
I see.
Have our roles been reversed, I would have expected the same. And I would have expected myself, fully, to accept such terms.
Terms can be altered.
I once owed my life, this existence to another, while I was not able to maintain his life to this day. spare his life. And I did repay the favor. It was out of my hands as to save him. Sadly, certain actions happened too fast for me to react to it. It still pains me to this day. I owed that man my life. And the two of them can roll initiative. Well, initiative.
Actually,
Just
I'm
like,
what
oh.
the fuck? Oh, you want to go there? Okay. Oh,
Can
damn
roll
it.
perception, empathy, but Madeline is
You
actually
think this guy's empathy? That's funny.
like
successes.
she's telling the truth. It seems.
Bless you again.
I didn't dislocate my shoulder this time, guys.
Oh my god. Thank you for not popping your shoulder out and seeing.
Okay, you got 2 successes. What did you get? 2?
Yeah, she seems to be telling the truth.
Okay.
Which actually, the character Chris knows why she's telling the truth because she actually is.
I can think of 2 individuals.
I'm thinking specifically of the caitiff that
Yeah, that's fine.
had that been a recognized vampire, she would have owned a blood pool essentially.
Ah, you're so silly. Caitiff aren't recognized anything.
I know, but I'm saying if that, then she would have been owed a blood pool to that guy. Like,
I mean, nah, he's just garbage. It's fine.
God damn it.
Yeah, no. So you've just admitted to the good father Jose Perez that you're a bitch. I mean, that you pay your debts, and he doesn't seem to think much of this. As in, he just nods. As in, of course we pay our debts, right? He seems to take you at your word, at least. Just nods.
Well, at least my essence and Johanna's essence was not stolen by an interloper.
Having one's essence removed is hardly the end of the world. The soul is quite immutable, I think you'll find.
What did he say? What was the last thing he said?
Losing essence is not the end of the world. The soul is quite mutable, I think you'll find.
Of course, the good Padre would say that. Well, Madeline just agrees, or seems to nod, and just, you're many wise years, but no more of this than I would.
Johanna's going to roll manipulation subterfuge because that dagger scared the shit out of her. She would not prefer to have her essence chilling in there.
You don't get 3 successes. You do,
2,
which
3.
makes me salty. Because I really want him to tell you a new one.
Nope. She
Not
keeps her
today.
composure. Just
You
her
are
eyes
in
widen just a
cold.
little bit.
I'm fine. I'm on the road of bones. I'm a tough cookie.
I'm a tough cookie.
Well, a tough cookie doesn't like cookies because that's for filthy living mortals.
Exactly.
Tough undead cookie. Dark side cookies.
Oh.
But yes, the good father will simply respond to Madeleine's flattery by saying, "You flatter me greatly. Is there anything else you wish to discuss, or is our business concluded?"
For the moment, I believe, unless there are any questions, I would take my leave. I have nothing further at this time.
Good. Have a pleasant evening.
Madeline will get up, curtsy, and he will. I'm actually gonna have to roll something now because vengeful. Because, yeah,
Because what?
because vengeful.
Because vengeful? Yeah, either you spend a willpower, you do something that's seen, you do something real bad.
Interesting.
Yeah, and what she's gonna do is she's gonna turn to Joanna and just say, "Good sister, we made it."
We
Sister
made
of,
it?
yeah, like
Is this outside, by the way?
no, this is in front of him,
This is in front of him.
and she's just gonna hug her and just kiss her, and just say, "Remember, I will not force you to do anything that would cause you harm." And she will just embrace her quite warmly and just act in a certain way that is definitely friendly. Very friendly indeed.
Okay.
And she will just say, "Do not worry yourself. We will speak soon. Have a good evening. And do not despair." And she kisses her again on the cheek, and she will
The
just
eyes
leave.
follow you
And she will
all the
leave.
way across the room.
Johanna will stand up she'll rise when Madeline rises to see her out. And she looks surprised definitely surprised to receive the hug and the kisses.
You will stay.
Oh, she doesn't leave. She she knows their words still. But she embraces Madeline back gently and a little gingerly, and gives her a very courteous bow of her head. Good evening, Madeline. I'm sure we will talk more later.
And Madeline just curtsies once more and leaves the building.
Leaving Johanna alone.
Johanna will turn back to her mentor and sink down again, not on the mattress this time, but just to her knees. Not like right in front of him, but a little ways off, leaving some, comfortable space for him to be mad in.
There's a moment of silence for Johanna.
Did you just say we had a moment of silence for Johanna?
Yep.
Okay.
The eyes shift from the door back to you in a very slow fashion. Very deathly. Grinding. Cold. Till they eventually just lock with you. You feel a slight chill breeze in the air. Do you have any idea what you have just done?
Of course, Padre. I hope that you will not be at all inconvenienced by this situation, and I shall strive in every way to make certain of it.
I will now I must give up hard-earned secrets. That belong
Padre.
to the necromanists. Because you were brash.
I think perhaps, Padre, you have been hasty in your offer. I made it clear to Lady Madeline that our association is one of mutual convenience and not affection.
It's irrelevant. Do you understand what a blood wound means?
Yes, Padre.
You are a servant now. And every secret I have taught you is now hers.
If she knows to ask. I'm a woman, Father. I have been a servant since I was born. Secrets are our stock in trade.
Not my secrets.
Of course. Do you think me so disrespectful?
You have violated my trust.
If I have indeed.
There is nothing you know that she now cannot. And now she pulls the strings she has over you to pull on me.
If you find that our arrangement is no longer convenient for you, I would certainly not hold you to it past your comfort. I fear neither death nor Madeline. But I should miss our chats very much.
I am only still here because you show a spark of potential. But your debt impedes you and will drown you if you do not rid yourself of it soon.
Of course.
I cannot teach you. If the secrets that would be imparted to you cannot be trusted in your care because you owe someone a wrong debt, because of a mistake, because you dealt with another death dealer.
I understand, Father.
Consider yourself on the leash. And if I feel necessary to pull on it, I will. I will not allow this to happen again.
I see. This is an interesting claim you make on me. Against your own teaching.
Oh, did you just accuse him of betraying the Red Bones?
No. She basically was saying, be careful how tight you pull that leash, because she was basically saying that your claim to the leash is his teaching.
Yep.
And if he has a greater leash, she then falls silent and offers him the chance to say so. As I've said. Sorry, go ahead.
Decades ago, I offered you an opportunity that few, if any, among your clan would ever have. Now all that understanding and knowledge will be wasted on another who will distract you from your studies, and me from mine.
I believe you're right, that she would if she could.
She will. With that state she can, and so she will. Her display is a common one. Good faith is wasted, alas.
Yes, Father, I understand.
Offers are made and then betrayed when they are convenient.
Oh, yes.
Only a luminary can be relied upon to repay a debt.
Out of character, is a luminary something that I should recognize?
Red Kings, because it's part of a road to another word.
Thank you.
Or one of the necronominists. But the others, their tongues are sharp, but their actions are loose and duplicitous. They do not seek to understand, only to acquire.
Yes, Father. I deeply regret that I've already so distracted you. I hope our long acquaintance will go some way towards reassuring you that my endeavors towards not doing so again will not be futile.
They cannot afford to be.
I understand entirely, Father.
I suppose we will see. you say. Secrets are your stock in trade. Know that power is de los sombras.
Is he saying the power of secrets is the Sombras?
No, just raw power. Just power. And know that when you are out of power to give, you will be disposed of.
Oh, yes. I'm well aware.
You need not worry. If your death costs you your life, I still have a place for you.
Oh my god. Out of character. What is he saying?
Exactly what you heard.
Ew.
What? No! He's saying he'll... never mind. You don't know.
No, wait. Would she know what he's saying? Is he offering to turn her into a zombie?
I mean, you're technically already a zombie. You're a canine. You're already Walking Dead.
Right.
No, you're not quite sure what he's saying.
Okay. She would look a little unsettled at him.
There are many safe places to keep a wayward soul.
To keep what?
To keep a wayward soul.
Oh, interesting. She's going to roll manip sub to not be like, well, fuck yeah, let's talk about that then.
Well,
that's real good.
You succeed.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me sad.
Her expression remains polite. Is that the right roll? Let me make sure I counted right. Yeah, I'm good.
You would be kept under only the best conditions. So long as you stole. Remember the road, that is.
God willing, I will retain that much of myself at the end.
Only Cain and his brood will things now.
I see.
God left his kingdom a long time ago. It is up to us to make something of it.
Yes. That I can agree with.
I think we will need to alter your teachings to compensate for this new debt. Hopefully, Madeleine takes me up on my offer and we can cut our losses.
Indeed.
If not, you might find yourself out of pocket or out of a body.
She raises a brow. I beg your pardon, Father. If I understand correctly, if you should pay my boon.
In
That debt
part,
transfers to you. Yes?
I would pay. And normally, this knowledge that I would teach to Madeline would cost much. However, I would transfer this cost onto your boon, significantly reducing its severity.
And in practical terms, you will have purchased that severity. That debt will be owed to you. Yes? I do like to pay my debts.
She could owe me a major boon, or I could simply reduce the cost of your boon and make it much more convenient to pay off.
Out of character, she's basically saying, if you pay it, you're buying the debt off of Madeline. Out of character, if I understand right, he basically would be purchasing the boon
He would be.
in part.
He would not actually be. Yes, under normal circumstances, he could perhaps purchase the boon if Madeleine were open to that.
Uh-huh.
What he's saying is, like, normally, yeah, like that boon would transfer over to me. Instead, I'm just offering to basically use the value of this knowledge to just negate your boon rather than purchase it.
Okay.
Because, you know.
Because you're such a nice guy.
Because he's such a nice god, and no way is going to destroy your life, both post and pre.
Because that's kind of where the conversation was going. He basically said that she might be out of a body, and that she has some concern about that.
Oh, you don't fear death, do you?
No, but this body's awfully convenient.
I mean, fair death.
She's definitely willing to expend the effort to make sure she understands the terms.
Oh no, he's saying you'd only be out of a body if Madeleine does not take Jose up on his offer.
Got it. Okay.
He's saying you're a very real risk of dying.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, what that actually means is up to your interpretation.
Capiche.
Yes. I hope, however, does not come to that. It would impact your learning greatly.
Indeed.
It is a shame this has happened. But I am sure, considering your eagerness, that you will be able to pay it off in time. Give it a century or two.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, much of what I was going to teach you has to be withheld for the time being. But perhaps we might revisit our guiding principles.
Indeed, Padre. You're well aware I am but a poor student, and take some time in learning.
He will not comment. How this guy has not frenzied or killed you on a mace, but hey. He's just not a very emotional gentleman.
It's not a very emotional gentleman.
As his perks. I guess this is how you survive the past 30 years.
That's exactly how she survived.
Yeah.
He's like, it would be really beneath me to murder this bitch.
I mean, once he gets to it, he can't prevent it because that would violate his roads. So, he's just not going to go there. That way, he's totally not violating his roads. True mentor of road opponents, everybody. I think with that, unless there's anything Johanna wishes to add in regards to her groveling.
She has some separate things to ask him about the Lady of Wrath. We can do that as a separate scene since somebody has the button and is waiting patiently for us and might need to go to bed.
It's true.
Not at this time, but we can let the scene come to an end. That's
Kill.
all right.
Okay.
As the scene comes to a close, thank you very much, players, for playing, and ST for ST, and watchers for watching. Good night.